Hi, this is Nicole Power with Educational Inspiration, and today I'm here to talk to you a little bit about what I call story grammar. I use a story braid from Mind-Wing Concepts, but you can make your own. And a story grammar marker like this uses icons to help a child know what the important parts of a story are. So in the case of this story braid, we have our little face up here that talks about or cues a student to talk about the characters of the story, who's in this story playing an important part. Our star helps us to think about the setting of a story. Where does the story take place? Now, usually a good literature story will have a problem or a challenge that needs to be overcome by the characters. This is what we call the kickoff of the story, and that's marked by our little soccer shoe here. What kicks off the story? There's a bump in the road or a problem that needs to be solved. And then the heart cues a child to think about the feelings of the characters about the problem. And then if you have a challenge to be overcome, you usually need to try to solve that with a plan. And this little hand helps connect the feelings about the problem and the problem itself. What's the plan to solve this problem? And then the beads on this story braid help mark the attempts that the character makes in solving the problem. So they try something, does that work or does it not? Then they might try something else and see if that works until we get to the end of a story. And that on this is marked by a little bow. How does the story tie up in the end? How's the problem resolved or is it not resolved? And then these teeny tiny little hearts down here at the bottom cue the child to think about the feelings again. How do the characters feel about how the story ended or how the problem was resolved? So today I'm going to show you how to use something like a story grammar marker in a book called I Do Not Like Al's Hat. And this is a brand new book that you can find at Barnes & Noble or Amazon. And this story is about Herb the rabbit, and we find out that he's got another knight stuck in Abracadabra Al's hat. So first off, we now know that we have a character in this story, and that character's name is Herb the rabbit, and the setting so far is Abracadabra Al's hat. And the problem is that he does not like Al's hat. He likes the spotlight and he likes carrots, but he's grown tired of this job. He's had enough. And he needs a new job. So there's the kickoff of our story, the challenge or the problem that our character Herb has encountered. He's feeling tired of this job. He wants to do something else. So he needs a plan, and his plan is to come up with a new job. Well, from the pictures we see that Herb has made a list of a couple things he would like to try. So this is the beginning of us implementing our strategy of finding a new job. In the beginning, he decides to see if he could be a wild rabbit, and that's our first attempt. But he quickly finds out that maybe this isn't the life for him, and so he tries to be a farmer next. Well, that's our second attempt at solving our problem of needing a new job. Well, it turns out that doesn't really work out so good for him either. The third thing on his list, the next attempt, is to be a pet rabbit. So he finds a girl named Sophie and applies for the position of pet rabbit. And it turns out that this job works out just fine. They get along splendidly, and the job of pet rabbit is the job for him. So that third attempt of applying for pet rabbit worked out great. So we come down here to the end. How did things tie up? It tied up with Herb finding himself a new job with a girl named Sophie as a pet rabbit. And how do all the characters feel in the end about how this problem was resolved? Well, Herb thinks that things are great. He's liking his new job. And Sophie thinks he's a great employee as a pet rabbit. So things worked out great in this story. I hope you can see how this can help a child understand the parts of stories. It can also be very useful for writing and helping a child understand the parts that need to be included when you're writing a story, like a character and a setting and a problem, resolution in the end, and feelings about that problem too. It can be used to help children understand comprehension questions like, where did this story take place? Then we can go up here to our setting and think about how we answered that question as we walked through the story. What was the setting and who were the characters, and how can that information help me to answer questions about the story? I hope this helps you with some ideas for helping with comprehension and writing and understanding stories with your children. Thanks for listening.